What is up, people? All my pop lockers, base heads, all my customers, other barbers, beauticians, people who come to my barbershop and promote my barbershop. It's your boy, the OG Soda Pop Kid, coming to you direct from my barbershop, building my home at 1025 3rd Avenue in New Kensington, PA, which is 20 minutes outside of Pittsburgh. And for some of you, it's a lead foot. You may get here in 15 or 10 minutes. All right, so this is a little small tutorial. I'm going to give y'all some updates on what's going on here and some things I feel I should share in my shop. And I'm going to put this out there. I know other barbershops and beauty salons, a lot of y'all don't do videos or y'all don't post anything on social media about your business, good or bad. You know, a lot of barbers and beauticians like to pretend like nothing ever goes bad in their shop. You know what I mean? That everything's 100% perfect in there and every customer is a great customer. But I know that's not true because I've worked in different barbershops and I worked in the beauty salon before and saw everything that happens up in these places. But me, I'll post a video and be real about everything and let everybody know what goes on. Okay, so there's some things I want to share. I'm going to get to the point. All right, and try to be brief, man, because these can be long because there's a lot of information that I share. So I'm going to start out with this. All right, I do have a Google page, Soda Pop's Cuts and Fades Barbershop on Google and Google Maps, and you can go on there and you can see 1,084 of my haircuts that I did single-handed. Okay, you can see all these signs and everything that I offer in my barbershop, days of operation, my hours, and that I go by appointments and you should call. Okay, and I have been picking up customers from out of nowhere from that website. Okay, and so on and so forth. That's been showing up on my doorstep. We are getting a lot of people that's moving out here in New Kensington. It's starting to become diverse out here, like Harrisburg and Carlisle and Reading and all those places in Pennsylvania. Okay, so I'm going to start out here. Okay, I'm going to tell you how much money I've lost in 2023 and going into 2024. Okay, so in 2023, what I do now is every day that I cut hair, at the end of the day, I'll write down how much I made. So at the end of the year, I can tally up how much money I made. Okay? Recently, I started writing down how much money I lose during that day as well due to cancellations and no-shows. So, in 2023, starting in January, so every December, I'll buy a new appointment book. And I'll transfer all my appointments from my old book to the new book, which it takes about 3.5 hours to do. Those who come weekly, bi-weekly, tri-weekly, and monthly. I'll write them all down. I'll take the time to do that. Sometimes it takes a couple days to do that. So I'll buy a new appointment book in December before the end of December. Okay? So, in 2023, from January to December, I lost almost $4,200 due to cancellations and no-shows. Now, I started cracking down on the cancellations. Now, the cancellation thing, my fault, the no-shows. I start cracking down on the no-shows. And I'm going to crack down on the cancellations. I'm going to explain why. Okay, for the no-shows, this has been a rule I've had for a long time. That if you miss an appointment without canceling, and you're a no-show, you caused me to lose money. I could have gave that appointment away to somebody that was waiting on standby. This is what I do for a living. This is not a barbershop club or a barbershop bar or a barbershop strip club. This is none of that. It's a business. Okay? So, when that happens, I lose money. So I tell every customer, when they first come in here, I break the rules and regulations down to them. Every business has rules and regulations. I tell them, if you miss an appointment, a no-show, if you don't show, you have to pay for that appointment. Whatever your haircut costs, you have to pay that before you can get back in the chair. Okay, I started cracking down on that. But, there's some people I gave chances to. I gave one too many chances to, and they got laxy-daisy. Then they feel that if they've been coming here for a certain amount of time, then that they're exempt from the rules. You're not exempt from the rules because you've been coming here. I've had conversations with more of my customers that you ought to know better. You should really be following the rules, being an example, okay? So I started cracking down on that. But now, the cancellations, I have customers that cancel more than they come. Now I'm going to start cracking down on that. You know what I mean? Especially the last minute canceling. The last minute canceling is like you didn't show up at all. I'm going to start making y'all pay for them. Or not making you, but asking you to pay for them. And if you want to debate and argue, I'll simply just let you go, man. I'll just simply send you on over to the next shop. Okay, because this is the thing. Either you're going to follow rules and regulations, they're not up for debate, for an argument, especially when I told you several times. I'm just going to let you go. You can be replaced like I can be replaced. You know what I mean? Let you go to the next shop and break their rules and regulations and argue with them every time something is said to you once you got several chances. All right? So, $4,200. So now it's June of 2024. Now, since January, I'm already up to $2,000, well, over $2,000 and lost money due to mostly cancellations. Like I said, I've been cracking down on the no-shows, and I've lost some customers because of that no-show thing too. Because either you pay for the haircut or you don't get in the chair until you do. You know what I mean? I've had cats get butthurt and leave and go to the next shop. Now they got all this bad stuff to say when, it was all hunky-dory before then. Every time they get their haircut, they get happy and they go over and grab this mirror and walk over to this mirror here and stand in the mirror for 10, 20 minutes staring at their haircuts. Then when they're done, Sodda, you know what I mean? But then when we have a disagreement, they're out of here and over to the next shop complaining. He ain't this and he ain't that, fine. Hopefully you don't get kicked out of there because you won't be able to come back here. That's a fair warning. Okay, so that's on that. All right, so I'm cracking down on all of that. I'm cracking down on people who come here bringing their problems in here and taking it out on me. You know what I mean? I'm sending you out of here as well. You know what I mean? Ain't going to be no argument. That's bad energy. You're not sitting down and getting a haircut with all that bad energy. No way, no how. I'll just say, man, go sleep that off, bro. You know what I mean? So I'm stopping that. All right? So let's talk about some other things. All right, there's quite a bit of stuff I offer up in here. I don't do what other barbershops do. You know what I mean? My prices are different than other barbershops. I run my barbershop different. All right, I don't do what another man do, dress how another man dresses, or feel that I'm going to be popular if I run my barbershop the way another dude or female runs their barbershop. All right, that's not going to happen either. Another thing, I don't go around bashing other barbers. Now, if you do it to me, I will come at you. But I don't go around bashing other barbers. I don't go around stepping on other barbers' toes. I feel there's enough money out there for all of us. Everybody's not going to like to go to every shop, man. Just like everybody didn't like Michael Jordan. Everybody don't like LeBron. Everybody don't like Steph Curry. You know what I mean? Everybody's not going to like the way I cut hair, even though I got all these haircuts up on Google and so on and so forth. And I've been at this for 38 years professionally. Everybody's not going to like the way that I cut hair, no matter how good I am at it. And I know that. That's why there's different barbers and different doctors and different nurses and different professional people, different mechanics, so on and so forth. There's something out there for everybody. You know what I mean? And I go by appointments only. And I see that since I started doing that, since 2000, when I opened up, well, I had appointments way back in 1987 when I worked at Wade's in Homewood. There was people that wanted to make appointments. You know what I mean? I see a lot of you barbers now. You know what I mean? You're going by appointments too, especially since COVID, and you see that it's working. You're welcome. That's the only thing you'll do. That's the only way you'll run your business now is by appointments, because you see that it works, that it's organized. when you used to complain about it at one point. You're welcome. The senior citizens haircuts that I've been doing since 2000. I got a screenshot of another barber's price list that I was told. Some people told me that they thought he was too high, but when I seen the price list, I see that he's not actually high. His prices is around the same prices as mine. With these prices going up crazy since they've been doing since COVID, going up rapidly too. Gas prices, food prices, everything. They just raising them like they feel like it. And we got to meet the demands of what the prices is with our barbershops on making a living. Like our prices are supposed to stay low while these prices are shooting up. No, I don't think so. But my prices at one point have stayed the same for 10 whole years while other barbers were going up every year or every other year. You know what I mean? Mine have stayed the same, and then finally I raised them up only $5 and started getting complaints from these cheap cats that come up in here pulling knots out their pocket, you know what I mean, and all of that. But they out there trying to impress these females, acting like they Nikki Scarfo, Nikki Barnes, Frank Lucas, or Pablo Escobar when you are not. I'm not impressed. And can't even tip $1, and so on and so forth. Okay, my prices has been cheap. You know what I mean? But I still get guys in here that tries to get a deal on top of a deal and then don't tip. If they get one, they don't tip. Anyway, okay, what's about to happen more than anything is, and what I've been doing, is getting rid of problem customers. Your money's no good here, just to let you know. And I will tell you straight to you or send you a text that the relationship is over, that you need to go to another barbershop. I need peace up in here. I want grown folks up in here. You know, I got good customers that come here. They spend good money. They tip well. We have good conversation. They never complain. They're always on time. They're punctual. I know that people make mistakes. I know that stuff happens. There's a reason why I give 10 extra minutes to every customer on top of their appointment to be here. And it does not mean pull up at the barbershop at 10 minutes late. And by the time you park the car, get out the car, come up the ramp, I open the door, you run to the bathroom, you know what I mean, that everything's good. You know what I mean? By that time, you're 20 minutes late. I'll send you out the door then. If your appointment was at 11, and I gave you to 11:10, 11:15s and 11:20s is not going to work, especially when you got customers behind you to show up 15 minutes or 10 minutes early. It's not fair to them. Yes, I will send you out, man, and some cats got that attitude that, oh, he's going to take my money. All right, try me. All money ain't good money. You ever heard that saying? Okay. So, that's that. All right, so basically wanted to let y'all know how much money I've lost due to these no-shows and cancellations. I'm about to stop all of that, man. You know what I mean? Because just like I said, I could be replaced and so can y'all. I got cats showing up here and, you know, as far as the, like I was explaining, the bashing barbers and stuff, listen, I see cats out there when I'm at the store or wherever I'm at. Some cats I see with real nice haircuts. And when I see that, man, I'll either say to myself, that's a nice cut. I wonder who did that. Or I might ask the person, hey, man, who cut you? So-and-so, that's a nice cut. Stick with them. They're doing a good job. Every time I see you, you got a fresh one. I've seen some messed up cuts out there. And I say to myself, dag, I don't know where they got that at. They walking around here looking like that. But what I won't do is walk up to them and hand them a card and say, hey, man, you might want to come check me out. If they're not looking for me or asking about me, I'll just, won't say nothing. I'll just walk right past them. You know what I mean? But if I get bashed, I'm coming at you. And I've had a shop do that with a customer of mine that went to their shop to get his hair plaited or locked, but he come to me to get a cut. Somebody said something to him about the cut, and I said something back to him. I was like, well, the next time you go to get your locks done, tell them I said this. All right, and you can go there and get your hair cut if you choose to. He's like, no, I was like, okay. All right, I gave you that option. All right, if you bash, I'm coming back at you, man. I don't do that. I don't got to do that. And I don't, a lot of them cats that I don't have hand cards to, I don't know what kind of person I'm getting or what kind of personality that I'm about to get. And when these people just show up at my doorstep, I don't know them. I don't know nothing about them, so I got to interview them right at the door. Because I won't take anybody either. You know what I mean? I've got to the point where I'm comfortable with my customers, and every once in a while I'll take somebody new, depending on what kind of personality they have or how they come at me. All right? I'm open Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Closed Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. I'm open from 11 to 7. I take my last haircut at 6. I do offer before and after hours haircuts at my discretion. And those are mainly for good customers that I've been cutting for a long time, basically. And if I do that, that's called overtime. I will charge you double if I got to open up early or close later. Like I don't have a life. All right? Sometimes I'll say no if I don't feel like it. I don't have to do it because it's up there on the sign. It doesn't say that I have to do it. But I do charge double. So if your haircut is $25, you will pay $50. If your edge up is $15, you will pay $30. If it's $20, you'll pay $40. And if your whole haircut is $40, you will pay $80. That's not up for debate or discussion. My off days, I want $100 to cut on my off days, on my days off, on my free time, on things I have other to do. If it's too much, fine. Then don't do it. Don't ask. Either one of them. Don't ask me to stay up or stand. I stand 8 to 12 hours since 1987 at age 60. All right, so I don't want to hear about nobody else's barbershop and what they offer because I don't offer it. Go there. I don't need to hear all of that, man. I don't care, you know what I mean, about any of that. Last but not least, I'm going to leave you with this. Okay. Last but not least, my barbershop is not a front. I have heard these rumors out there because that's what type of town we live in. You know, gossiping, rumor spreading, slandering, backstabbing, two-facedness. All right, my barbershop's not a front. Okay, I'm going to get into a little story about what I had heard somebody say outwardly. All right. If I was a front, this is a mom and pop barbershop. I would not have a barbershop as my front. You know, where I'm standing here 8 to 12 hours cutting hair, I would not be doing that. It would just be for show. I wouldn't have any customers. I wouldn't have people coming up and through here. It would just be for show. It'd just be a sign out there. And people, you'd ask people, you ever been there? I never been there. 90% of the people say, I never even been in there. I never been there. You don't cut my hair. You know what I mean? You know, why would I have to cut hair if I was doing something illegal? It would be stupid for me to be in here with a mom and pop shop. You know, I wouldn't have time to cut hair and do car audio and dance if I was doing something illegal. And the authorities would know about it because they do know. And I do have cops that come up in here from another district. That comes up in here, doctors that come up in here, and everybody else professional. I don't have time for all of that. No, it's not a front. And I'm going to tell you why I'm saying this. All right, before I end this. All right, so I was closed on one of my days off, Sunday, Mondays, and Tuesdays. All right, and I was coming up on the porch, and two guys were walking past my house that I've never even met. And once they walked past the shop became a discussion. So one of them looked at the other and said, he's never open. And so I was like, yo. And they turned around. I was like, my barbershop's open Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday from 11 to 7. I'm closed Sunday, Mondays, and Tuesdays. Maybe you walk past here on a Sunday, Monday, or Tuesday, and it's not open. It's not open on those days, bro. Ain't no such thing as my shop is never open. It's open. And then I waited for a response. They looked at each other and then looked down at the ground. It's like, oh, man, and started asking me questions. And I ended the conversation. I was like, man, have a nice day, bro. And just walked on in my house because I was about to go off the deep end. Another incident. A dude, his chick, and his kid, like 3 years old, with an Angela Davis afro. No, let me take that back. Some of y'all don't know who she was. She was a Black Panther back in the day with a gigantic afro. And then later on, she ended up being a politician. But anyway, let me just put it to you like this. A Michael Jackson afro. Y'all know who he was when he was young. All right, the kid had a big Michael Jackson afro. And usually when people walk by here and I'm on my porch You know, and they walking by with a kid, they'll look at me and point at the kid, which means, will you cut him? No. I said, no, he's too young. You got to be 10 years old now to come through here. All right, so then the dude said, are you really a barbershop? I was like, yeah, I'm a barbershop. He was like, I thought you was a front. And I was like, why is that, bro? Because the barbershop's in the house. It's called a home occupation. Okay, I've been cutting hair longer than you've been living. So how do you figure that I was a front? Because it's in the house? You don't come here. I was like, I don't do anything illegal, dude, by the way. He didn't say nothing and kept on walking. You know what I mean? You know, this is how rumors start around here. You know, but like I said, it would be stupid for me to have a mom. Why not a mini mart? Why not own a mini mart of 7 or 8 barbershops with 5 to 6 people in each shop? You know what I mean? If this was a front, it wouldn't even be opened as a barbershop. It would just be a sign out there saying that, and you never see nobody coming here to get a haircut or nothing. You know what I mean? For inquiring minds, don't you think? Okay, that's it. I didn't want this to be too long. You know what I mean? We're going into like over 21 minutes with just that little bit of information. The last ones I did was like over 30 minutes. And I didn't want it to be that long. I wanted to get to the point. All right, so this is for when my customers are out there and people see their haircuts and they ask them, hey, where did you go? Y'all know what to tell them, or your own experiences of being in here, because my Google page is a 5-star rating. So people, it's bringing people here because of that, and they look at the haircuts. Some people take time to look at those haircuts. You know what I mean? They'll speak for themselves if I know what I'm doing or not. You know what I mean? And about all the standing for hours, yeah, I had a customer debate with me because I didn't want to do an after hours. You know, start bringing up other barbers. I was like, 1, you can go to them. 2, I've been standing longer than all of those dudes all put together. When I started cutting here professionally, some of them wasn't even born. That's the end of the story. But feel free to go there. I don't need to be hearing all that. All right? So, I'm going to end this. This is your boy, the OG Soda Pop Kid. Soda spelled with 2 D's, coming to you direct. Soda Pop's Custom Fades Barbershop. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Peace.